And I just start talking.
Well, you're talking now and we're recording now.
Boy, hello, boys, girls, and everyone in between. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing great. I made it through finals week.
That's good to hear.
So
That's good to
pretty
hear.
excited about that. And last night, before midnight, surprisingly, I was able to get my 10-page paper in.
Before midnight. Well, it's because you're bad at time management.
I am.
And if you remind me, I'll show you how I handle that.
Okay, I might pick that up sometime. Maybe give lessons on that, on time management in the show sometime.
Make a slideshow presentation.
Yeah, but why would you make a slideshow? Because a slideshow is visual, and we don't have visual effects here on a podcast.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a visual or a presentation for time management, not on the podcast. But
well, yeah, I
get you.
mean, like, help
get you
everyone
now.
out. Why
I get
not?
you.
Why just me? You know?
I don't know. Well, because I rely on you to not give me high cholesterol and high blood pressure.
Am I an egg? Am I an egg sitting in your heart right now?
Yeah, you sure feel like it.
I feel like the egg in your throat a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But is that why you have such high cholesterol? Oh my word, I can't even talk.
Yes.
How was your week? How was your finals week?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. I
Easy peasy,
should
lemon
have
squeezy.
just said, hey, you should edit this week.
Nope. Nope.
Because this week was actually very hot and heavy for me.
It's because you suck at managing time.
Well, yes, but I was also doing because I suck at managing time.
And planning.
I was doing a lot of writing,
Yeah.
and you know, I just have to say though that the paper that I wrote was for my minority, gender, and sex politics class, and this has been a pretty big project. I'm just like, Ty, you're not going to put it off this time, and I didn't for a while, and then it got time to where I'm just like, I should probably get working on that, but there's tomorrow, baby. There's tomorrow. Why would I do something today that I could just do tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I don't live by that motto anymore.
So
I did in high school and past high school, and then I thought that college would be a lot more difficult, so I trained myself not to, and now it's working out for me.
see, originally I did that, but then I thought, it's not very hard at all for right now.
Yeah, and now
Right.
you've got a podcast that you got to keep up on,
And an
and a
organization.
co-host that's eventually probably going to murder you if you don't get on top of your stuff.
Well, look at that. Look at that. We're going to have a murder, another murder right here in Northwest Missouri. That would be kind of fun.
Wouldn't it? Another one.
Yeah. There's been quite a few in Maryville alone. Well, I don't know if quite a few is a term that I want to use, but like, anyway. So what you got? What you... Well, actually, you know, I don't want to jump right into the story though yet. I feel like there's something missing.
What do you mean? Names?
The name of the podcast. Yeah.
Or the
What
name of us people?
What are we listening to right now?
I'm listening to your voice in my ear.
Nice. And your voice in my ear.
Yes.
I think it has a name. I think it's
No.
Tater Tot?
No. Not quite.
French fry.
Possibly, but
Skinny Tater Tot. That's you.
Closer.
Skinny. Okay.
Mason Arnold is the name of mine.
You're right. That was pretty close, wasn't it?
It was. I agree.
Huh.
And what is your name, my gay friend?
Always putting me in a box. Always putting me in a box.
Yes.
My name is Ty Bears.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as Tyler Bears.
Yeah, but I always like to say Ty in the show.
You like Ty?
Yeah, I do like Ty.
Good.
But don't feel forced to call me that.
Okay. I won't then.
But please do call me Ty.
Now you're forcing me. And I thought that was your whole...
I'm asking you politely.
You didn't say please. You just said, call me Ty.
No, I said please.
No, you didn't.
Boy, whenever I'm editing this, I am going to show this to you so hard.
That's what he said to he.
I don't know what you mean. And I wish that I could understand.
That's what she said.
Okay. Well, Michael Scott's on the show today.
Yeah, he is.
So that's kind of cool. He doesn't really know what he means a lot, but
No, I do like that show. You're right. I would like it, and I do. Haven't finished it yet. Peyton and I are on season 8, I think.
so you're getting close.
8.5, yeah.
I wish that I could have a relationship like Jim and Pam.
Now are you ready to jump into the story?
Yeah, I guess. You act like the story's what the people want to hear.
This one you're going to want to hear.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Because it is a freaking doozy. You ready?
You know, it seems like I think that that's your slogan, and I think that we need to start making T-shirts that say that, because this one's a doozy.
This one's a doozy.
Oh yeah, I kind of like that. That's your little thing now. Okay.
Can we get a designer on that, please? Anyone? Madison?
we'll take-
Madison?
But why just limit it to one person?
Everyone? Oh, man, are you ready for this?
Yeah, dude.
I've got a dramatic intro paragraph to go read from. It's got a lot of questions in it. They're all rhetorical. Don't answer any of them.
Okay. Well, you're meaning do not actually answer
Yeah,
them this
don't
time.
answer these questions, no.
Okay, fine.
You're going to want to, though. Okay. When people say everyone has their demons, it is not taken in a literal sense. It essentially means that everyone has their own personal things they'd rather just forget. And the saying is true, everyone has them. But not everyone has literal demons. See where this is going? That was a literal question. Ask it. Answer it.
So you do want
Do
me
you
to
see
answer
where
the
this is
first
going?
question
Do you see where it's going?
that pops up, and you do want me to answer it?
This wasn't in the writing, so
After
yes.
you told me, don't answer these questions.
That question wasn't in the writing.
I
That
don't want to
was
get
just a-
yelled at, Mason.
Answer it.
Someone's haunted with demons.
I told you not to answer any questions.
Ah!
We hear on a relatively unique basis on someone being possessed by demons. Most of these can be quickly disproven. But what about those that aren't? Don't answer that. Don't answer any questions I have for you until I tell you the name of this person.
Okay.
Or persons. You don't know yet. This story might be made up. You don't know yet. I've yet to make up a paranormal story, but I probably will eventually. Just on the... Keep it on the down low. Listeners, don't tell Tyler. Okay, disproven. What about those that exceed and defy common logic? What about those so well documented? Shut up. Thank you. Sorry. Laughter. What about those so well documented that they are referred to as one of the best signs of an actual demonic possession? What about the ones that go on to inspire the greatest horror movie ever, in my opinion, The Exorcist? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to find out together. This is the story of Anna Ecklund,
Anna Ecklund.
or sometimes referred to as Emma Schmidt. Have you heard either of those names?
Emma Schmidt. That was the lady that got haunted in St. Louis.
No.
No. Then yeah. Whoa. Anna Schmeckland?
Anna Ecklund.
Anna Ecklund.
Emma Schmidt. I'm going to call her Anna Ecklund because that's what I've known her as throughout the years I've known of this story.
Why does she have two different names?
I don't know if I explain this later on, but I'll explain it. When she was possessed, spoilers, when she was possessed, the priest that was going to do the exorcism wanted to keep her identity a secret as to protect her. But eventually word got out, rumors spread that it was in fact Anna. I believe Anna was her real name and Emma was her fake name, but it's misconstrued a lot, so I don't know for sure. One of the names was her fake name and one of the names was her real name. I don't know which was which, though. Unfortunately. You ready?
Okay. Yeah, I get it. What was the priest's name?
We'll get to that. I'm going to mispronounce it, but we'll get to that. Born in Earling, Iowa, or some people say Milwaukee. Milwaukee was where Emma was born.
There's a lot of
What?
There's a lot of second names in this.
Yeah, we're going to stick with Anna.
And
Ecklund.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee is not important to this story.
But I'm just saying that
Milwaukee
city,
is where Emma was born.
Oh.
And Earling is where Anna was born. They both ended up eventually living in Earling.
Wait. What?
Emma and Anna are the same person.
Yes.
Anna was born in Earling.
Uh-huh.
Emma was born in Milwaukee.
Right, but I thought that...
They're the same person, but people claim that Emma was born in Milwaukee. The people that say Emma was her real name was born in Milwaukee, and people that say Anna was her real name, Anna was born in Earling.
Okay.
It can be confusing, but it won't be confusing after this first paragraph because I'm going to completely eliminate Emma Schmidt from the equation.
Gotcha.
What people can agree on is that she was born in 1882 and that not much is known about her childhood, aside from her father, Jacob, reportedly having an affair with his wife's sister, Mina, and the fact that Anna was raised in a strict Catholic household with her mother. Her father didn't care about religion. In fact, he mocked people that had a religion or that believed in Christ.
1982.
1882.
1882. Never mind.
Did I say 19?
I thought you did. But...
I meant 1882. She was born in 1882.
Nice. So this has been a while ago.
Yeah. Yes, it has. Whoop, there's something in my eye.
Your fingers.
Shut up.
Whenever people say that to me, I instantly get pissed.
I say that to you all the time.
I get so angry. Like, man, haven't heard that one before. Never
Didn't
thought of
see
that one.
Coming.
Man. Oh man, what's up? This guy. Oh, that was so freaking funny the first time I heard it, and then now 700 times later, it's still funny. It's like a joke that just keeps getting funnier
It's a gift that keeps
every
giving.
time I freaking hear it.
I agree.
Anyway, go on.
Anna started to display signs of demonic possession around the age of 14. The possession was reportedly brought on by Jacob and Mina as they both practiced witchcraft. In turn, they, quote, poisoned her food and put a curse on her soul. It is said they did this because Anna refused her father's sexual advances toward her.
Yikes. Wonder why she did that.
Some of the signs of her Possonic Demession?
Possonic Demession.
Possonic Demession.
That sounds like
the name of this episode.
Well, and it also sounds like a topping that you would put on a pizza, like a type of cheese from Italy.
Demonic possession?
Yeah,
I forgot what it was already.
Possonic dementia. Oh my gosh, it's a disease.
Possonic dementia. Oh my! All right. Well, the signs of this dementia were Anna completely rejected any holy objects from a Bible to a blessed image. So anything that was blessed. Is it blessed or blessed?
It can. Well, I think that whenever you're describing a person, I don't know. It can be both, like blessed. Yeah. Okay. I would say both.
Also, I have a question for you. I forgot to look this up. I told my dad I was going to look it up, but I didn't. It's later on.
Hold on. You have another question for me?
I have a lot of questions for you, yeah, because I'm not really all familiar with the religious aspects of this story.
Wait, so these are going to be non-rhetorical?
Non-rhetorical, yes. You're able to answer them.
Okay.
And I won't get mad at you unless you give me the wrong answer.
Yes.
And I won't know what the wrong answers are, so just don't feed me lies.
Yes, Dad. Oh, wait, you don't like when people lie to you? Huh. Yeah. That's kind of fun. That's kind of funny. Huh.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
It's fun. I agree. Anna had the inability to enter a church because an unforeseen force was holding her back. Yes.
So, like, if she just, like, tried to run into it, would she just, like, stop in the doorway and, like, hit her head like she was, like, running into a wall?
Probably.
I wonder if that would, like, hurt or if it would feel like Jello or like you're running into a mattress.
I don't know. I don't want to know. How about that?
I mean, I like going to church, but I would hate to just like,
hit a wall.
Yeah. But I kind of want to know what that's like.
Well,
maybe it's like
you're not gonna want to know after I tell you the rest of this stuff.
Have you ever like tried to put two magnets together that won't go together?
Yeah, like the north and north sides.
Yeah.
Or the south and south sides.
Poles? I don't know. Whatever it is.
It is.
Yeah. And it's like really really hard to put together.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder if that's what it's like.
Probably not. All right, we're moving on. Number 3. Taking part or the urge to take part in unspeakable and terrible sexual acts.
Like what?
I don't know. There was no examples.
Tell me
and
your
I
deepest
don't
fantasy, Mason.
I don't want to know what the acts were. But this one is incredibly disturbing because some people believe that Jacob and Mina tried to get Anna possessed for the sole purpose of an incestuous relationship between Anna and Jacob. Yikes. But this cannot be proven. The next one, she started to hear voices that told her to do the aforementioned acts, as well as kill a priest and tear down a church. And this is according to the 1935 book/pamphlet, Begone Satan, that was written by Reverend Karl Vogel in Germany. And this Begone Satan is going to be referenced a lot because I read it, and it is so incredibly incredible.
I I love that title. Begone, Satan.
It's got an exclamation mark after it too.
Oh yeah, you know that people are gonna read that like Gandalf says, and you shall not pass.
No.
Begone, Satan.
I never watched that movie.
Okay, well,
or read the book. I did read Begone Satan though, and there's a lot of information that comes from that in this story. And it's all fascinating, so I hope you're ready for all of that.
How long is the book?
Well, the one that I read was 35 pages.
Was it dense?
As a PDF. There's an online version of it. It was
was
translated.
it a dense read? Like, was it hard to read?
Well, it was written in 1935 in Germany.
So you read German?
I read in German. No, it was translated in the.
It
was translated to English and published in English in 1971.
So you were just reading a bunch of gobbledygook, like...
Yep, gobbledygooks for sure.
Like you were just reading, like... I was like, ooh, I see a lot of symbols in here, but
Yep.
I don't know what any of these mean. This is fun.
Accurate. After these actions became serious, Anna's mother took her to doctors and specialists all across the Midwest, and they all told her the same thing. Anna is perfectly healthy. We know now that Anna was not perfectly healthy, as did her mother. Her mother didn't... I worded that weird. Her mother didn't know.
You worded that weird?
Her mother knew that not that.
You're like me right now.
That's all, folks.
You're worse than me right now.
I will never be worse than you.
Oh, you are.
Anna's mother knew that not everything was okay. With Anna getting worse and worse by the day, her mother did the only thing that made sense in her mind, which was turn to the church for help. It was at this point when a Capuchin monk from Wisconsin, Father Theophilus Reisinger, something. It's something along those lines. We're going to call him Father Theophilus for the entire story.
Theophilip, got it.
Nope, Theophilus. Shut up, computer.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
That was my big, juicy story coming in the mail.
Really?
Yeah.
Good news. I like it. He was born in Germany in 1868 and had several past experiences with exorcisms. There was not much documentation about this exorcism, but on June 18th, 1912, Father Theophilus had rid Anna Ecklund of her literal demons. So in 1912, he conducted an exorcism on her, and it was successful.
So he says.
Yeah. Life continued on for Anna Ecklund and everyone involved, and everyone lived happily ever after.
Wow.
The
Well,
end.
that was a good story that you
It
told me.
was.
Now time to get to mine.
Nope, just kidding. It's about to get a lot worse.
Okay. Something told me that was not the actual end of the story,
Yep.
but please.
This is a long paragraph, too. Are you ready for this long paragraph? So the next part here, this section this section as well as most of the rest of the research is from Begone Satan, the book pamphlet. That was the end of the sentence. I don't know why I continued it. In 1928, the Bishop of Des Moines called upon Father Theophilus to perform another exorcism. Father Theophilus agreed and soon asked the pastor in Erling, Reverend Father Joseph Steger, for permission to exorcise another woman from Erling, Iowa. Steger went by Reverend Father. Okay, so Steger went by Reverend Father and pastor throughout this pamphlet/book, and I don't really understand the difference or how you can be multiple. So that's my first query.
Okay, well...
I don't understand the difference between Reverend Father, Reverend Pastor, Father, Pastor, Pastor, Father, Pastor, Reverend, and,
Well, I've never heard of someone called a pastor,
Pastor,
or
pastor.
a reverend pastor, or a reverend father, or a.
Reverend Father I have heard, because Steger was called that. Reverend Father Joseph Steger.
Actually, okay, reverend father isn't. I have heard of the reverend father, but as far as I know, okay, the Catholic Church is the only one that performs exorcisms. So
Right.
I'm gonna guess that they are Catholic, because you also said they're Catholic earlier.
Yes, Catholics.
With that being said, as far as I know, the church, the Catholic Church is the only one that refers to their pastor as father.
Okay.
And I know that it's very common for like Baptists and whatnot to refer to their pastor as a reverend.
Okay. You didn't answer any of my questions. Just kidding. Sort of. You might have. I don't know for sure.
So what's the difference between them? Nothing. Not
Okay.
really. Mainly their religion.
Wonderful. Awesome. Okay, so you're gonna
The-
you'll probably say that again later on too for the different question I ask that's kind of related. Father Steger was dumbfounded by the prospect of another possession so soon after the 1912 one.
I was wanting to ask, is Father Theophilus?
Theophilus?
Yeah, Theophilus. Is he like the Oprah of exorcisms?
No.
He's like, you get one, and
No.
you get one,
No.
and you get one.
No. Do not. No. No.
I'm just saying, Father Oprah.
No.
It's not that hard.
Of course
to...
not. No. Absolutely not. So soon after the 1912 one, because this was in 1928, so just 16 years, which is a relatively short time for another exorcism to be needed, especially in the same area. He soon learned that it was Anna who needed to be exorcised again. Am I boring you with my story?
She obviously was not getting. All she was doing was just sitting around the house, maybe reading, eating some potato chips, and he just needed to get her some exercise. That's all that she needed. She wasn't riddled with demons.
No, she was.
She just needed to, go on a jog or something.
No. It's gonna get worse. You'll see. So Anna needed to be exorcised again. Father Theophilus asked Father Steger's permission, and Steger asked where this exorcism was going to take place. Theophilus responded with the convent owned by the Franciscan sisters out of Erling. Father Theophilus chose this area because it was far enough away from the main part of the town of Erling to not draw too much attention to Anna. Steger again was shocked. He said there was almost no way the sisters would allow an exorcism to take place under their roof, but he gave Theophilus permission only if Theophilus could get the permission of the Mother Superior. Theophilus responded with, and I quote from the book, Begone Satan. I gotta find it. I lost it. Okay. Thanks for your permission. The case is therefore settled, as the Mother Superior did give her consent from the very beginning. I have already made all arrangements with her for this case, provided you give your full approval.
Wow, good job.
What a guy.
Wow, what a stand-up guy.
Taking-
A good old man.
He's proactive about it,
Sure is. He's not reactive
not reactive
like
whatsoever.
you.
I am very proactive, and you know it. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this podcast. I'm the stone.
You are a power-ridden, or a power-filled.
I am power-ridden. With the approval, the Bishop of Des Moines warned Father Steger about the consequences of giving permission. The bishop said that the devil would take notice of Father Steger's willingness to help and attempt to punish him for it. Steger told the bishop that as long as God's protecting hand wants to ward off the devil from his soul, then he is under no grave danger. This doesn't really have much to do with Anna, I know, but I thought this was incredibly interesting. This whole paragraph.
Very interesting. I talked with demons once.
No, you didn't.
Why don't you ever believe any of my ghost stories?
Because they're all fake.
I see ghosts all the time.
You don't. This isn't the Sixth Sense.
And
You're
also-
not Haley Joel Osment.
I wanted to tell you something kind of interesting.
I love interesting things. You know me.
The other night, while I was writing my paper, I was up till.
my God.
I just want to let. I'm just trying to let you know about my life,
Okay, come on.
like a friend does.
Sure. Sorry.
I was up till 3 a.m., right? And then the next morning I had to get up at 6:30. So I was running on 3.5 hours of sleep
Right.
yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I went to bed, I was seeing a lot of things out of my peripherals.
It's because you were tired.
Yeah, well, I know, but like, there's like, it's kind of a scary amount that I was hallucinating. Like, I don't know, I've
You were
never
just tired.
hallucinated that much.
You were tired. 3.5 hours of sleep is not enough for a growing boy your age.
A growing boy. Don't like that.
I like how that laugh just snowballed. That was strange. Please don't ever do that again, Mason.
Man.
You ready?
Yeah.
Begone Satan sort of follows a different timeline than what I read on several different websites, including Wikipedia, Imadian, and Diabolical Confusions. Either I didn't read it clear enough, or whatever, but Begone Satan says this is the first time Father Theophilus met Anna Ecklund. To me, it seems as though the book completely disregards the 1912 exorcism, or the 1912 exorcism never happened, so I'm not sure. Although I think Begone Satan doesn't reference this because the book opens in 1928, as opposed to it just documents the 1928 possession and not the 1912 one. So that might be why, but I don't know for sure. It is said that Anna was possessed again because of her father and Mina.
And she cannot get a
She
break.
can't catch one.
She can catch a lot of demons, though.
Wow, yeah.
She could be like, oh, she's like a little net for demons.
No.
She's like a butterfly net, but filled with demons.
Okay. If that's the route you want to go with that, sure. It is said that Anna was possessed again because of her father and Mina. They are said to have practiced witchcraft and black magic to curse Anna. Which, this next part is pretty interesting to me, so I thought I'd include it in there. And here.
Isn't that neat?
According to Matthew chapter 12, verse 45, it says, "Then it goes and brings with it 7 other demons more evil than itself, and they go in and dwell there. And the final plight of that man is worse than the first. So will it be with this wicked generation." This references a demon, or unclean spirit, as it's referred to as in the Bible, that has previously been expelled from a body or entity, but comes back. Jacob and Mina knew this, and it was their intention. So, in the 1912 exorcism, only one demon was banished, and Jacob and Mina intended to bring back 7 others more powerful than that one that was expelled in 1912.
Right.
And they succeeded. The 1928 exorcism happened in 3 different sessions. The first took place between August 18th and the 26th, the second between September 13th and the 20th, and the third took place December 15th through the 23rd. Just to get a picture of how scared some people were about this, all the nuns that were involved in the exorcism hastily asked for relocation afterwards and never returned to Earling, Iowa.
So they took it pretty seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite thoroughly seriously.
Yeah. Unlike you right now.
What do you mean?
Is that a helicopter outside? Some of the paranormal happenings during the exorcism are Anna's mouth not moving when she was speaking. Anna spoke in languages she had never heard and would have no reason to understand. Speaking in voices that were much deeper than she could manufacture, or much higher in Mina's case. It was theorized that the demons used an inner organ or her throat to speak through. An inner organ of Anna's or her throat.
Wait, are you telling me that you don't do that? I'm trying to find the bad parts in all of this.
What do you mean? Don't do what?
She had never spoken these languages that she had never heard, and
No.
and she had spoken without moving her mouth,
Yeah.
and that sort of stuff. And you say that's not normal, but I do that.
No,
so.
you definitely don't. No.
I just did it.
You don't.
I just did it.
No, you didn't. You made a noise that doesn't qualify. No.
If you talk without moving your mouth, it does kind of sound like another language. I'll show you.
Sounds like you're an idiot. That's what it sounds like. The voices that came from Anna frequently used blasphemous or foul language to insult everyone in the room.
Yeah? Did they just... You know, I wonder if it was like... Because this was a while ago. So language was very different. And I kind of wonder what that language was that was so offensive.
It was 1928, so I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it was like 2 years and 4 scores ago. Your
No.
mother smelled like a wet dog.
No. They insulted. I'll get more into this in a little bit, but they insulted the nuns with the sins in their past. So that's what the demons used.
Oh, you once open mouth kissed a horse once, and God saw it.
That's so weird that you
And
would say that.
that is the reason why you're going to hell, Mary.
Maybe that's a confession of yours that you did.
No.
That would be weird. Let's move on. I'm going to stick to that story because it sounds the most profitable. So let's go on. Several of these have little ostriches. A lot of these have several little off branches. Like the first one, number 1 was her mouth not moving, and then there was 4 little shoots connected to it.
Yeah, is that how you want to word that?
I know.
Is that
not
what you
really.
meant?
Sure, we'll go with it. Number 2, the demons forced liquids out of her body 12 to 20 times a day, which was enough to fill buckets.
Yikes. Ew. Like what kind of liquids?
Well, you'll see. She would vomit strange and unrecognizable liquids, as well as weird solid objects like tobacco leaves or spices.
Did they keep it? Because I would have kept it.
Probably no. Probably not.
Oh, well, hey, buddy.
What?
I would have kept it. And I would have played in it. Okay.
God.
I would have.
Stop talking to
I would have
me.
splashed in
No.
the liquids.
Nope. No, I'm
Like,
done.
ha-ha.
This was especially strange because she refused to eat or drink during this exorcism.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she was getting dehydrated, but yet she was always staying filled with liquids. That is kind of strange.
It is.
That is a little weird, Mason. How do you think that happened?
She was possessed, Tyler.
Oh, man. Really?
Yes. That's
You
what this
think?
whole story's about.
Well, I thought this was about someone trying to steal some popcorn out of the movie theater.
I'm moving on, whether you're with me or not.
But, oh wait,
Number 3,
But I'm still here.
her entire body bloated so bad to the point where the nuns would have to look away in fear of her exploding.
Because of the popcorn.
Oh, because she was bloated. It was bad. With this, she also became so solid, as if she were concrete, that she bent the bed frame severely under her weight. Iron bed frame.
Okay, this story is kind of getting radical, but
It's
okay.
been radical the whole time.
You just are just now finding out that it's radical,
Yeah.
though.
Come on, Tyler. Come on. Get with the program. Number 4, she would frequently break free of her bonds or the nurses that were holding her down.
So not both.
No, they didn't do both at the same time.
Oh wait, I was. Neat.
Yeah,
Neat.
goodness. Number 5, occasionally running up walls and perching in corners above doorways.
Again, that's not normal.
No, it's
I-
really not. No. It is said that the nuns struggled mightily to get her down from the corners. She especially liked going over the doorway in the room she was in.
She's like, I'm gonna scare anyone who tries to come through here. Ooh. And they're like, ah. Or she'd be like, I'm gonna splash. I'm gonna throw up on them whenever they walk through the doorway. It's kind of like whenever you like open a door and like there's a bucket that splashes down on you.
Mhm.
Yeah, but instead of a bucket, it's her vomit.
It's a demon
Her-
vomiting
yeah,
on you.
yeah, her strange vomos.
Yeah, you are a child.
It's kind of like
Number
what if she
6.
got- okay.
Screams so loud and intense that farmers started to hear them and gather around the convent. She
That's what it sounded like. I'm just saying that was an actual recording of her
No,
screaming.
it wasn't. That was you speaking without moving your mouth again. She soon started to howl and grunt to the point where the gatherers would have to leave the area because of fear. Out of fear is what I should have said. Number 7, she levitated frequently and completely off the ground or bed she was on. Number 8, this one's probably the strangest. Her lips apparently grew to be the size of hands.
Why would you measure things in hands? Is she a horse?
Well, have you ever seen The Exorcist? They kind of hold their hands up like this, so I'm sure you could probably just like,
Oh.
wow, her lips are huge.
It's like, yeah, that's about the size of a hand. I mean, I don't know. I was just thinking, like, maybe, like,
No, you wouldn't
one
put your
and
hand
two,
on
like-
her.
like-
You wouldn't say like, wow, these are some big lips here.
those are some nice big lips. You just start feeling them, like, all around. You
Yeah,
start,
that's
like,
weird.
grabbing them and, like, playing with
Number 9.
them. Like, you're trying to open,
Number
like,
9.
like, you're trying to open
Number-
a trash bag or something. You just, like, rip open.
Number 9. Anna, or the demons inside her, would insult and ridicule the nuns for sins they committed in their childhoods. More on this later, because this gets extremely interesting later on. Number 10. She warned that a near fatal car accident would strike Father Steger she warned that a near fatal car accident would strike Father Steger if he did not put an end to the exorcism.
And then a car crashed through the wall.
No accident ever occurred to my knowledge. I couldn't find one on record.
Oh. So it's just an empty threat.
Probably. Number 11. Putrid odors, flies, and mosquitoes would appear and then disappear often.
The flies I get because, like, flies are really associated with, like, rotting flesh, but the mosquitoes I don't really understand.
They suck blood. Like vampires, and vampires are supposed to be demons. I don't know. I just made that connection. There's nothing that makes sense in that sentence.
Well, I wonder, I don't know, do mosquitoes suck blood out of dead things?
I don't know. Is there even blood in dead things?
Yes. Yes, there is.
All right.
It doesn't just,
We're moving.
it doesn't just,
It evaporates.
What
I
do you-
understand.
what do you think happens to the blood as soon as someone dies?
It stops.
Do you think it just, yeah, or did you think it just disappears? Because,
Yeah,
like, that's,
doesn't it?
it sounds like you thought that it disappeared.
No.
And that's not what happens, Macy.
No. You're a psychopath. All right, we're going on.
Little monster boy. Anyway.
Number 12. This one's pretty important to me and to the story because it's seen in The Exorcist. This is the only exorcism in recorded history that the priest conducting it had a vivid and lucid vision with a, quote, sixth sense or something along those lines. Father Theophilus physically saw both Lucifer and Beelzebub during the final exorcism. He described Lucifer as very tall with matted black fur on his hooved legs. Lucifer also had a crown on his head and a fiery sword in his hands. Both he and Beelzebub were furious. And according to Theophilus in Begone Satan, this was the conversation they had. Lucifer.
Hi.
No.
Oh. oh, wait, like Lucifer's about to speak? Or
Yes, Lucifer's about to speak.
Okay.
I'm going to speak through... Lucifer's going to speak through me on this one. And then Theophilus will too. Lucifer, if I could, I would have choked you long ago. If I only had my former powers, you would soon experience what I could do to you.
And then Theophilus said, "Yikes, Dad."
No.
Oh.
Theophilus said, "No, you." Just kidding, he didn't. He actually said, "What can you accomplish, you helpless Lucifer?" And Lucifer replied with,
Wait. He called him a helpless Lucifer and
Yep.
not loser.
Yep, you helpless Lucifer.
He had the perfect
I
opportunity
know,
to say
but,
Lucifer.
you know, whatever. This was a serious ordeal. He wasn't thinking about insulting him with the word loser. Lucifer responded with, "What could you do if you were as bound as I am?" And 13, many more supernatural things that I could not find but can only imagine were present. There's a large number of things. Anna is said to have been possessed by countless demons, some of which are listed below. And these are the most important ones. These 5 are the most important ones. Number 1, obviously, Lucifer.
Uh-huh.
And number 2, obviously, Beelzebub. According to the past
Why is that
conversation.
obvious?
Because Lucifer had the past conversation with Theophilus, and Beelzebub was by his side in that vision.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you paid attention to me, you'd know. But, anyway. Judas Iscariot is number 3. And this one has five little points underneath of it. The first little bullet point I have here under Judas: he was only here to force Anna to think she was insane and to commit suicide. Yep. B, there is a passage in Begone Satan about how Judas is not to be trusted, which is obvious.
No. That's how they point. They point with their pinkies and their index fingers. Like, no, you.
Really? Is that? I point like that. Have you ever seen me point like that? Because I point like this often.
I did not know that you point like that.
I do. Yeah, I point with my pinky. I point with this. Point with this. We're moving on. I don't want to be possessed. Please. About how Judas not to be trusted. Obviously.
I point with my whole hand.
Please.
It's more accurate that way.
This comes into question when a papier-mâché cross was accidentally handed to Father Theophilus. Satan laughed in his face and said sarcastically, and I quote from Begone Satan again, "Since when did he die on a paper cross? If my knowledge doesn't fail me, he was nailed to a wooden cross." Gotta scratch my arm.
You know, honestly, people also make like glass crosses, which is kind of weird.
Oh, I thought you had a comment about this, but you're just saying how people make crosses out of different things.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, it is weird that we make crosses out of different things.
I can.
So, I mean, like, not to side with Lucifer on this one.
Yeah. Sure sounds like you are.
But paper is also made out of wood, so haha, Lucifer.
Paper mache?
Stupid
The
face.
mache part doesn't come from wood.
No, but the paper does.
Okay, fair enough. Satan continues on to...
Wait. What does mache mean?
I don't know. It's the gluish. I don't know.
Is it?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Satan continues on to make fun of the way Christ was crucified, with the right foot on top of the left. Catherine Emmerich...
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't
You were just going to glaze
know.
over that part?
I don't know. I don't know why he'd make fun of that.
Haha,
think
your right foot's over the left one.
In the book, he said that he had one foot placed over the other instead of having his feet next to each other. So I don't know what symbolism that has, but I don't know.
And so now, earlier, whenever I said, haha, and your mother smelled like a wet dog, that doesn't seem like such a far off, like, insult to have. Like,
no, I think this is a wild guess, but I think he was referring to Christ not being able to stand on his own 2 feet.
maybe.
Crossed.
Well, and like maybe it was just like the humiliation, like, haha, that's even more uncomfortable. It's like, haha, you got some sand in your shoes.
Yikes.
Ha, ha, ha.
Catherine Emmerich, I don't know how to really say her name, but she was a Roman Catholic mystic and visionary, and she had described in length that this is the way Christ was in fact crucified. So before then it was just a general assumption that he was, but apparently people thought that Satan actually confirmed that this is how he was crucified. But what is fascinating about this, what is the most fascinating to me about this, is he says that Judas says he is in hell with the demons. Why is this fascinating, you're asking yourself right now?
Mm-hmm.
Because according to the book, according to the Begone Satan, Holy Mother Church, this is a quote too, quote directly from the book. Holy Mother Church has never yet given a decision regarding this matter, even though the words of our Savior about Judas are thought-provoking. It would have been better if that man had never been born. So in 2 cases, Satan proves he knows what he's talking about. Christ crucified on a wooden cross and in the manner in which he was crucified. His next point can be disputed whether or not he's in hell. So, can Judas be trusted? I think we know the answer to that question.
You're absolutely right about that.
I just thought that was interesting. I don't know why. I don't think it has much relevance to the story, but I thought it was interesting.
Right, but I don't know. I mean, while Judas did know, Jesus already knew. So I mean, like, I don't know, this is getting kind of more, personal and religious, what I think.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm trying to aim at here, because I want I want to know.
I don't think that Judas is in hell. I think that he did betray Jesus, because he did. That's what it says in the Bible. But
Right.
I still think that Jesus forgave him. That's why he died on the cross, and that's
So
why
where's Judas at now?
heaven.
He's in heaven?
I think that he is in heaven. Yeah.
Okay, so why is he possessing people then? If he is in fact actually possessing people,
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that the devil.
why would he have a reason?
I don't think that lying is about the devil. I don't think I do not think that the devil is above lying.
Oh, of course not.
So I mean, maybe he's like.
Maybe
acting
he
like
is pretending to be Judas. If that is in fact the case, then I can see that happening. The next two are Jacob and Mina, because they were dead at this point. Both Jacob and Mina had died at this point. He was sent to hell for cursing his daughter and breaking the bond of marriage. Obviously. Jacob said through his daughter that the devil had allowed him to be inside of his daughter. You know what he meant by that. Even though he was no longer alive.
Some incest.
He was one of the most intense spirits present during the exorcism. Jacob was. And Mina, the final one I have listed here, her aunt was condemned for the same reasons Jacob was, cursing a girl and being a homewrecker. There was a unique reason she was in hell, though. It is said she killed 4 children. This theory goes even deeper to say that the children were hers.
Okay.
The theory goes even deeper to say she committed abortions on the 4 of them.
Oh, so they're saying that abortion is murder.
According to Begone Satan, yes.
Huh. Well.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah, that could
But
get very political.
It
but
could very quickly. But according to Begone Satan, yes. That's what they're saying. She was also one of the worst spirits in Anna. She, along with Jacob, frequently spoke through Anna using their own voices. So that's why I said earlier that Anna spoke in very deep voices and also high voices because of Mina. And in Begone Satan, I didn't write this down, but in Begone Satan, they said countless demons had been inside of Anna, and most of them were not strong enough to actually do much possessing. They just spoke in gibberish and really couldn't. They were easily expelled. But those five were the worst. And this will lead me into my next question, I think. Yes. What's the difference between Lucifer, Satan, and Judas?
Okay, Judas.
Well, I know Judas was a human at one point.
Yeah, and a prophet of Jesus. Not a prophet. He was a disciple of Jesus.
A disciple, okay.
As far as I've known, Lucifer and Satan are the same person.
Okay. I asked my dad that, he didn't really know. I forgot to look it up. But I know when I was reading Begone Satan, they referred to Judas as Satan as well.
Well,
Maybe.
and I mean, that is a
Yes, they did.
pretty common thing. Hold on.
You're going to look it up?
Yeah. So we did a little bit of research, and according to this article on the difference between .net, it says Lucifer versus Satan. Contrary to mass belief, Satan and Lucifer are 2 different names and not the same exact entities. This is the current misconception that many Bible believers have come to know for generations already. Lucifer is actually the angel of God that he named in heaven as one of the most, or perhaps the most, perfect angel ever created. It was only when Lucifer was cast down from heaven and his alternate entity was known as Satan. Lucifer was banished because of his pure egoism, not to mention his pride that was regarded as his greatest sin. Hence, by theory, Lucifer is the first one to have committed sin.
Really?
Yeah,
Eve was.
Lucifer is the name of an angel, whereas Satan is the name given to the devil. It is said that Satan has lived in the spirit world for more than 6,000 years. In this regard, he has not known yet been visible to human beings. It is, however, foretold that he will make himself visible soon by appearing physically in the world, and will call himself the Beast, a very remarkable being that will proclaim himself as God.
So, Satan's only been around for 6,000 years?
God's time and human time are very, very different.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have this conversation
'Cause,
later.
like-
We've strayed... Hold on.
Okay.
We've strayed far too far into the religion realm here. Even though I'm really interested in it, that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Do you want to come to church someday?
Uh,
I was just assuming that you would say no. I was like, whatever. Yeah.
Father Theophilus used the prayer of Saint Michael to expel the demons from Anna's body. Do you know anything about Saint Michael?
Yes.
You do?
St. Michael the Archangel.
Yes.
Oh, the Herald Angels. Oh, I don't know this song very well. I'm a bad Christian.
Well, for those of you who don't know, he was an archangel whom God, more or less, promoted to banish Lucifer and his legions all to hell. Satan would shriek at the mere mention of St. Michael's name during the exorcism. Oh, that scared me.
You said that he would shriek.
No, I don't want you to do that ever again. Please. Ever. No. No. I know I say that a lot of this stuff is fascinating, but it is. And one of the most fascinating parts of this case was the general revelation of Santa's knowledge.
Santa's not.
Well,
Santa is Satan. Have you seen that photo of that is captioned? I think that China might have a misconception.
I think, yeah.
And it shows Santa being hung up on the cross.
Yes. I have.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, please go on.
Fascinating aspects of this case was the general revelation of Satan's knowledge. I really messed that wording up. During the ridiculing of the nuns, one nun said that God had forgiven her for her much worse sins in her adulthood. So Satan was ridiculing all the nuns for sins they committed in their childhood. And one nun responded by saying that God had forgiven her for sins that were far worse than those in her childhood that she committed in her adulthood.
Right.
Is that, do you understand? Am I saying that in an understanding way?
Say it again.
Okay.
Just once more.
I'm gonna try to. I know what I'm trying to say, but I'm trying to think of how I need to say it to make sure everyone understands. She, the nun, committed worse sins in her adulthood than she had in her childhood.
Yes.
And Jesus had forgiven her worst sins already. And Satan was trying to use the nun's sins in her childhood to make fun of her.
Oh.
And the nun responded by saying, Jesus, I didn't write down the quote, but he has forgiven me for the sins in my adulthood, or something along those lines.
So, yeah, I mean, like, she can have confidence and be like, hey, you know what? He's already forgiven me for my bad sins. So, yeah, you can't even do a thing, stupid idiot head.
Are you ready for the actual interesting part of this?
Okay.
Satan responded to the nun by saying, "What you have already confessed, I do not know." I found this especially intriguing because, with this statement, Satan has revealed he knows nothing of the sins that have been confessed to the Lord and forgiven by him. So, due to this revelation, Father Theophilus required anyone assisting in the exorcism to confess every single one of their sins, childhood or adulthood, so they could not be ridiculed and or weakened by whatever power Satan had.
Nice. So
I thought that was very interesting how he doesn't know anything about the sins that were confessed.
yeah,
that
that
have
is
been confessed.
That is pretty interesting. It's like if you take a hard drive and another hard drive, label one is good, label one is bad, and you take the bad ones out of the bad hard drive and make them into good hard drive. Wow. That's
No.
cool.
That was the worst analogy I have ever heard for anything ever. It's terrible. Oh man. This has the duck duck goose. This has exceeded 2,000 words, and I can honestly type a few more thousand on the subject. This is incredibly fascinating to me. I realized as I was writing this conclusion, it started to stray away from the actual possession and more into the religious part at points. For that, I apologize, but I lost myself in the story. Now we're into after the exorcism.
Picking up the rubble.
Yeah, so to speak. The original convent is said to have been torn down in the mid-1990s, and a new one was built across the street. No nuns live there, but in that convent, priests live. Priests live in the new convent. There are only 2 Franciscan sisters that live in Erling now, but neither of them participate in the exorcism. Because, it was in 1928.
Right. They're kind of old now.
Yes, they would have been very old. Yes, Anna Ecklund survived this ordeal. In fact, in the Wikipedia page, it says she had minor and manageable possessions after this.
Why is she so possessed?
Well, because of her father and aunt.
And siblings, sounds like.
Siblings?
Mm.
She didn't have any siblings.
I was thinking of the wrong thing.
Probably.
I was thinking about the incest.
What does that have to do with siblings?
Just, I was getting mixed up.
I know you were.
So, yeah.
But I don't know what a manageable possession is like, but I definitely don't want to have one. That's for sure. Father Theophilus assisted in writing Begone Satan, which was written mostly by Karl Vogel. It was, like I said, written in German, and it was translated and published. It was translated to English and published in 1971.
Oh, wow. That took a while to write then.
To translate? It was the original German copy was published in 1935, so yeah, you're right. It was 7 years after the possession.
I thought you meant, okay, never mind. I was thinking wrong again, like I always do.
I know. All of the direct quotes came from that book, as well as this one. Her final words when she awoke were, "My Jesus mercy, praised be Jesus Christ." And that is the story of Anna Ecklund, or Emma Schmidt.
Wow. That was really nice. Thanks.
Yeah, it was. That was fantastic.
Well, let the screaming commence.
Screaming?
Yeah.
I don't want you to scream again. That was not fun for my ears.
Well, I have a question for you, Mason.
I might have an answer. Maybe. We'll see what the question is. I'll tell you when I hear the question. Tell me the question.
What does it take to be a good person?
Oh, man, I'm not going to be able to answer that.
Please, do your best.
Do my best? Oh, man. Philanthropy is always nice. Caring about people's opinions, not being a bully.
Yeah,
You know.
and what does a good person usually do?
Respect people.
Like, I mean, like, what sort of things are usually a good, like, someone who is a, quote, good person usually involved in, like, I mean, whenever I think about it, I think, like, oh, they're probably active in church, and they have,
So I guess I'm not a good person in your eyes.
no, well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
that's
that,
what
like,
you're saying.
like,
That's what you're saying.
the stereotypical, like, clean and friendly, sharp and witty, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not clean and friendly.
Someone who's in, like, Boy Scouts or, a U.S. Marine, for goodness sake,
Okay.
No, but, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe someone who makes a lot of dad jokes and puns, right?
Maybe, but probably not. That doesn't necessarily qualify as a good person.
I mean, I don't know. I think that if someone makes a lot of dad jokes and puns, I don't know. Like you usually wouldn't think that person is filled with evil. I'm pointing at you, buddy.
I so am.
But now I have another question.
Okay.
Who is Dennis Rader?
Who is what?
Who's Dennis Rader?
Isn't he the BTK?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
That's good. Oh, on the subject of serial killers, the East area rapist
Was caught. Yeah.
after 40 years.
Yeah, he was. I saw that. I was actually going to bring that up earlier. That's what was missing from earlier.
That was missing, that announcement.
Yeah, so great job. He was a cop, wasn't he?
He was a former cop.
Yeah, so.
Yep. It's a good day.
Boys, we got him.
Oh, you're going to be listening to this the week after he was caught. He was caught around 10 days ago from the time you're listening to this. Last week. He was caught last week. We'll say that. He was caught last week. Good
Pretty
news.
cool stuff.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I am doing BTK. Are you freaking pumped?
I'm excited.
Or what?
I'm excited. And you didn't even do the research for this, so we're going to be learning together.
Yeah. And I mean, I've listened to like a lot of podcasts over him, but this is so good. And again, you're right. I didn't do the research for this, so thanks again, Ken. You're the best. Man, I'm so excited, and I did such a good job on not freaking telling you who I was gonna do this week.
You did. You did a good job. But now this episode's gonna seriously be over 2 hours.
Oh, good. We could split it into 2 parts if you wanted to.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Well,
I'll post later that it's a special episode.
Yeah, because we're finally on summer break.
Special episode.
Oh, is that? Wait. Special episode. Super special. Special. Okay.
Wow, you're gonna have to do something with that stuff.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear it over the. But it sounds like a bunch of mice running over the microphones or something. I don't know.
Sorry, those mice got wild.
You should be.
They turned into rats.
He was born in March.
What?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So that makes him a Taurus?
Hold
I don't
on.
know zodiac
Let me
signs.
Google it.
I shouldn't have asked because I don't know anything about zodiac signs. I just know that I'm a Sag. Good old Sagittarius. Or a Libra. This Libra's April.
Signs.
Signs?
Nope, that's not the movie that I was wanting to. Zodiac Signs.
Signs is an okay movie. It's not great. It has one scary part. It's about aliens. Aliens.
I think I've seen it.
Apparently hate water, and they die when they come in contact with it.
Okay, March, Aries.
Aries.
Yeah.
What's a Libra?
A Libra is September 23rd.
Are you kidding?
through
What is
October.
Taurus?
Taurus is April 20th to May 20th.
I don't know. I thought Taurus was September. I don't know absolutely anything about the zodiac signs.
When are you born?
I know they were going to add a new one.
You were born in March, right?
No, December.
December.
I'm a Sagittarius.
That's what I said.
Oh,
So,
you said March.
oh, you were born in early December.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, do you know what I am?
No.
Gemini.
Nice. So it's my brother and my mother and my dad.
Wow.
Yep.
Don't your brother and I have like the same birthday, May 31st?
What?
I thought your brother's birthday was May 31st.
No, it's my dad's. My dad's is the 29th, I think.
Oh.
I thought it was the 31st for like the first 13 years of my life, though.
No. He's like, that Mason, he's such a sweet kid, but he always gets my birthday wrong.
And it very well still might be. I still am not sure what his birthday is. Sorry,
Dad.
Dad.
It was the 29th, though.
I think it is.
You think
It's Memorial Day weekend, whatever that is.
Oh,
I
boy.
think. I'm sorry, Dad. I don't know your birthday.
He was born in 95. Or, not 95.
March 95?
Yeah. No, he was born in 45. So.
19?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, not 18.
I thought you were talking about 2045, sorry.
Excuse me? Okay.
You're excused.
2045.
2045?
Rader was the eldest of 4 sons, so that's kind of fun. His father was a U.S. Marine, who moved the family to Wichita, Kansas, and that is how it classifies as being in the 4 states that we covered. So you're welcome. According to those who knew him, Rader appeared to have a normal childhood. He was a Boy Scout. He attended the youth church, attended a youth church group
So
And-
he's just the good person that you were describing earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was honestly like he seemed like a really awesome sort of guy.
So where did he go wrong?
Well, we'll talk about that.
Okay, cool.
He was a decent student. However, Rader himself admits to killing and torturing small animals as a child, and he kept them hidden. So that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, probably.
Well, actually, usually those are just signs, but
Do we know what influenced him to do that?
no,
Okay.
not yet. So
Okay.
this evolved into fantasizing about doing the same thing to women, bondage and
Uh-oh.
torture.
And kill.
Yeah. Oh, BTK sandwich. I love BTK sandwich.
BTK sandwich. Oh no. No thanks.
And was something he thought of pretty often, obviously. So
yeah, clearly.
after graduating high school, he was accepted into college, but dropped out at 21.
What college?
You know what? I don't know. Would you like me to Google that for you?
Washburn?
I
Big-
bet that he probably would have.
I learned last week that Washburn is in Topeka, Kansas. Last week as in yesterday, but last week as in when everybody's listening to this.
Well, I typed in Dennis Rader College, and it says Kansas Wesleyan University,
Okay.
and then there's Wichita State University, and there's Butler Community College.
So he must have attended all three.
I guess maybe he took some dual credits.
Maybe.
I don't know. By the way, the high school that he went to was Wichita Heights High School,
Ah, cool.
so that's pretty cool.
Neat.
Nito Cheeto.
Neato Beto.
Wait, did I already say that he went to Nito Cheeto? Or oh no.
No, you hadn't.
Ah.
In case you were wondering. Yeah, but you did say he went to a Wesleyan school.
No. Well,
I'm crying. That
Anyway.
was great. Wow.
after graduating high school, he was accepted into college but dropped out at 21, and he joined the Air Force. After 4 years of service, he was discharged, and he married Paula Diaz in May of 1971. And, he married Paula Diaz in May.
God.
I'm so bad at reading.
We're struggling.
He married her in 71.
Okay.
So,
May of 71.
yes.
On May 71.
And, and bounced from job to job. In 1974, he was between jobs when he began, quote, trolling for women.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
What?
While his wife was at work, he would wander the neighborhood and school campuses observing the patterns of women.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's exactly the type of guy that I want to have a beer with on a Sunday night.
Oh, yeah, it is. So, in 1974, just 3 years after his marriage, Rader targeted the Otero family, who was just recently moved into the neighborhood. He watched their patterns, and when they came and went, who okay, he
Was
watched.
that an almost sneeze?
Yeah, it was, and it's probably gonna come back later. So,
That's what she said.
I hate you. I'm sorry, I don't mean that. He watched their patterns when they came and went, who had left the house and when, and struck on January 15th at 8 a.m. So,
What year? 74?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. The family was sitting around the table at the time, enjoying breakfast.
What? Breakfast?
Yeah, breakfast. They were enjoying breakfast.
Yeah.
Three other Otero children, Charlie, Daniel, and Cameron,
Charlie Daniel.
had. Did I say Daniel?
Yeah.
No, I
You
didn't.
said Charlie Daniel.
Oh,
Is
shoot.
Is that the name?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I denied saying it, but I
You did.
actually did say it. Yeah.
Sounds like someone's got a guilty conscience.
Yep. Charlie, Daniel, and Cameron had already left for school. Rader welded
Wait,
a gun.
okay. Is his name Charlie Daniel or is it Charlie Daniel and the girl's name?
Charlie, Daniel, and Cameron. Yeah.
Oh, Cameron. Is Cameron a girl or a guy?
The family was sitting around, struck January.
It doesn't really matter, but
It doesn't
I thought
say.
you said Charlie Daniel was one person.
Oh no,
That's why I laughed.
Huh.
Okay, sorry for that confusion.
No, it's you're fine, baby. So
That's what I said.
that is what you said. Good job.
Thanks.
Oh. Okay, so 3 other Otero children, Charlie, Daniel, and Cameron, had already left for school. Rader wielded a gun, claiming that he was a prison escapee and looking for resources to escape.
Wielded a gun.
Welded.
It's wielded.
You can say welded.
You can't, otherwise it would make me assume, which it did, that he welded together a gun in the house.
Who says wielded?
Everyone.
I say welded.
That is completely
Like you
incorrect.
weld a sword of majesty and righteousness.
No, that's wield. How is it spelled to you, Tyler?
Like it's just, but it's like, but it can
There's
be
an I
pronounced
in there.
both
No,
ways.
it can't be.
It can be.
No. Otherwise, I'm assuming that he welded a gun
You know what?
together.
I'm gonna leave it up to the audience on this one. Let's create a poll.
Yeah, insert right here.
Yes, please. So, anyway,
Wielded a gun.
Rader
You buffoon.
claiming that he was a prison escapee and looking for resources to escape, he gathered the family into one bedroom.
The family. So the 3 children were gone. How many are left in the house now?
I believe.
How big of a family did they have?
Well, hold on. Oh, wow, my ear hurts. We'll get into it.
Okay, cool.
So, he killed the father, Joseph, first with a cord around his neck. So, just strangled him. Next was Julia, the mother, as Rader strangled her with his bare hands. He took 9-year-old Joseph II into a different bedroom and suffocated him with a bag over his head. For 11-year-old Josephine, Rader hung her from the basement, like the basement, like beams.
Yeah, okay.
And she was partially dressed. Evidence of semen was found on the pipe around her. Preceding this, Rader went through the house and cleaned it up, while taking a few souvenirs.
I like how all of their names follow the pattern, except for the 3 that were gone.
Yeah, they deserved it because of that, right?
He was 9. Why wasn't he in school? Joseph II.
I don't know. Maybe he was sick, or maybe.
Yeah, that could be true. But they had 5 children.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Okay.
I wonder how old Josephine was then. Did you tell me or?
Yeah, she was 11.
So why weren't they in school?
I don't know. Maybe they were, like I said, maybe they were sick.
Maybe.
Maybe the dad just was like, hey, you know what? Y'all are named after me. You don't have to go to school today. He was picking
Probably
favorites.
Not. More than likely not. But it is kind of weird and coincidental that the Joseph and Josephine were in the house. Although I like that name, Joseph Otero. Joseph Otero.
Otero, yeah.
I'd like it more if it was Otero. Joseph Otero.
Maybe that'll be the name of your next book victim. I don't know.
Maybe.
Next, he took the family's station wagon and drove it to a nearby supermarket where he discarded the keys. 3 children who had left school were the first ones to discover the horrendous crime scene when returning home that
school,
afternoon.
yeah.
So, at first, police suspected that Joseph Otero had murdered his family before committing suicide, though the first case was open for many years without a single divine answer. I hate myself. Definitive answer.
Defined answer.
I said divine answer.
Divine. It's so much worse. Divine answer. Oh man, isn't that like the 10 Commandments?
Divine
answer.
is anything that has anything to do with like God, like
Right.
divine power.
So am I right?
Not really, but sure. Divine answers would be anything. It would be any answer from God.
Didn't Moses ask, "What should we do?" when he climbed the mountain?
I mean, like,
And then
yes, but
God gave him a divine answer in the Ten Commandments.
But any answer from God is divine.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've really jumped knee deep into religion this episode, haven't we?
We have. And we are also going to jump knee deep into second names that I was talking about.
Second names.
Yeah, you'll see. After the media attention from the Oteros fell away, Rader took little time before striking again. He targeted 21-year-old Catherine Bright, waiting for her to leave before entering her house through the back door and lying to wait for her to return home. When she did, she brought with her 19-year-old Kevin Bright, her younger brother. Caught unaware by this, Rader panicked and rushed his job. He pulled the same act with the Brights that he did with the Oteros, threatening them with a gun and claiming to be an escaped convict.
He didn't weld his gun this time.
It's a normal saying.
It's not. Wielding a welded gun.
He proceeded to bind Catherine in one bedroom and Kevin in another. When attempting to strangle Kevin with a stocking, Kevin loosened the bindings and struggled with Rader for the gun. This is going to go wild. Kevin was ultimately shot twice in the head and face, but survived and escaped the house to search for help.
So, Jiminy Christmas, what a trooper.
Yeah.
So he was shot twice in the face head.
Yeah. So while Kevin ran, Rader was panicking. He was unable to take the time he wanted with Catherine and ended up stabbing her twice in the abdomen. When Kevin found help and returned to the house, Rader had already escaped and Catherine was bleeding out. Catherine later died in the hospital, but Kevin survived with sustainable damage to his head.
I'd say.
Oh my gosh. And this is labeled BTK Origins. So, in October of 1974.
Okay, so I'm going to keep a running total of his kill count right now. So he's at 5?
4.
4.
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yes,
I think it's 5.
No,
he killed mother, father, Joseph, Josephine.
Oh
and
shoot! Yeah, you're right. 5. Yeah.
Catherine.
Yep.
5.
10. You're up to 10 now.
5.
Because you went, you raised all
5.
10 of
No,
your
I only have
phalanges.
5 phalanges on one hand. 5.
BTK's origins. In October of 74, the Wichita Eagle newspaper received a phone call. They were informed that a letter was hidden in a book in the Wichita Public Library.
Oh wow!
When discovered, the letter gave gory details of the Otero murders.
How did anyone find that letter? Did he give a specific book?
I don't know. It was probably one that was checked out a lot.
That's so strange.
Which had yet to be solved. The programmer, but with obvious knowledge. The letter was ended with a quote. The code words for 'em will be bind them, torture them, kill them. BTK, like the sandwich. Like the sandwich was not added on there. It was just BTK.
I understood.
Shirley, it's spelled V-I-A-N.
V-I-A-N?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like Vane or Van or...
V-I-A-N? Vian?
Vian, maybe.
I don't know. Is that a person's name?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's not Vane. Although, Vane is a cool name.
So Shirley Vian, is that what we're settling on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Shirley Vian, in his own words, Rader claimed that he was busy for the next 2 years with a steady job, school, and the birth of his first child.
Oh, so he's still married at this point. I forgot about that.
He was married to her for 30 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Talk about a second life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
We'll get into it.
Okay, cool.
In the birth of his first child. However, he said that he never stopped trolling for potential victims.
So he's just stalking people is essentially what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In 1977, Rader found time for himself. Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
He took
good
a
for him.
little
Me time.
Yeah. Thank you. He cased 2 different women's houses, but found them empty. Rader then approached a young boy on the street and showed a photo of his own wife.
You're
I
welcome.
think I'm actually developing dyslexia. Anyway, okay, so when Rader approached a young boy in the street, he showed him a photo of his own wife and asked the child if he recognized the women. When the boy answered no, Rader followed him home and was allowed entry by 3 children of the house, the eldest of which was 8 years old.
Wait, okay, so are you going to tell me if their parents were home?
Yeah, we're going to get into it.
Okay, cool. I'll wait. Sorry.
So,
I'm anxious.
Rader then proceeded to lower the blinds when the mother, 24-year-old Shirley Vian, entered the room with her bathrobe. Rader barricaded the children in the bathroom, bound Vian, and we're gonna say Shirley.
Shirley.
Bound Shirley and strangled her to death with a cord. Rader left the children alive in the bathroom. Detectives later found evidence of semen near Shirley.
So, are they going to find semen near everyone?
Near quite a bit of people, yeah.
So, he never actually raped anyone?
Well,
Or necrophilia?
he was definitely into yeah, I'm not sure if he actually we'll talk.
Am I jumping too far ahead?
We'll talk about it.
Okay, sorry.
Nancy Fox. In December of 1977, Rader found his next victim, Nancy Fox.
Okay, cool.
A 25-year-old jewelry store clerk. He cut her phone lines and lied to wait. When she returned home, he did away with any story of an escaped convict and simply tied her to her bed. He admitted to her that he was the murderer of previous victims and that she was the next. Phoned the police from an innocuous site and informed them that there had been a murder at murder at Nancy Fox's home. Although the tape of his voice was played on the television for a year, no one was ever able to place the voice as Rader.
So did he kill in his neighborhood then? I guess voices sound different when they're recorded than they do, especially if it's recorded and broadcasted. It's kind of going through some disorientation.
Especially during the 70s,
yeah, it was rough. Yeah, I agree.
I think it was around this murder, that the Wichita Police Department developed a task force to try and solve these murders that were happening.
Should have done that after the first set.
Do you want to know how seriously they took it?
About this much?
You're absolutely right.
I held up a 0, by the way.
Thank you. He had a task force after him called the Hot Dog Squad.
That sounds like a child.
Yeah.
A child musician group,
Yeah.
child group.
Yeah, no. This an egregious act. They were also sometimes called the Ghostbusters. So, I mean, I don't know. Let's just refer to them as the Hot Dog Squad because I think.
Please, because that's pretty well surmises how well they did.
I cannot believe the Wichita. Anyway, Marine Hedge. For 8 years, Rader stopped his murder spree. So he took
8 years?
Yeah, he took a bit of a break.
So, when did he kill Nancy? 1975?
1977.
77, so he stopped until 85.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That is a sizable break.
Yeah, it is. But he came back, and he came back quite hard.
Okay, well,
so
pun intended.
Yeah. That was not intended for me, but...
Yikes.
Marine Hedge. For 8 years, Rader stopped his murder spree. Either he was busy with his life, or he believed that the police were too close to his liking.
Yeah, the hot dog squad were doing a really fine job,
Yeah,
weren't they?
and no, they were not. They were just piss poor. But
Hot dog squad.
yeah. However, when attending the Boy Scout meeting with his son, Rader left the camp in the middle of the night. He visited 53-year-old Maureen Hedge, who had lost her husband a year prior. He severed her phone line and waited in the closet for her to return home. She did eventually with a friend. She did eventually, but with a friend. He laid in wait with the friend to leave and for her to go to bed. When the time was right, Rader strangled her in her bed and dragged her body to his car. He took her to a remote area and took photos of her naked body before taking her and burying her in a shallow grave outside of Park City. He then returned to the Boy Scout camp.
That sounds really weird.
Yeah, and he also took a lot of pictures of himself being buried in the grave with the girl mask and whatnot.
Wait, he took pictures of himself in the grave, so he took selfies.
Yeah.
In a grave that he dug.
Yeah.
For
a victim. Yeah.
And what'd you say, girl face?
Yeah, he had this mask that he made.
That looked like a female.
Yeah.
Was it a real female face?
No.
That's
no.
good.
But it looked like. You just need to look up the pictures sometime.
I don't think I want to.
You don't want to. You will actually regret it. And anyone who's listening to this will regret it. Just a few more things about Maureen Hedge before we move on to Vicky Wegerly. I'm going to forget how to pronounce that. He actually, this was the only one that he took and put in different locations. And also, he took her to, yeah, I don't know, I guess that was all that I wanted to say.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Vicky Wegerly. The next murder was in September of 1986, with the victim being 28-year-old Vicky Wegerly. Oh, how did you know that? Rader posed as a telephone repairman, and Wegerly, fooled by the disguise, allowed him inside. Rader then overtook her, tied her into her bedroom, strangled her, and took photos of her body, of course. Mm-hmm. Bill Wegerly, Vicky's husband, later saw his own car pass him by on the highway. When he arrived home, he discovered his wife dead in their bedroom and called the police. While at first the police suspected Bill of killing Vicky and using BTK's methods to do so, he was ultimately never charged. So at first, yeah, but wouldn't that be wild to be like, that was my car.
How do I steal my own car, police? Come on, really?
Yeah.
Oh. How am I driving here and I stole my own car? And I really? That is just tragic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd even suspect him.
That's terrible. I mean,
come on, Hot Dog Squad.
I get why they suspected him for sure, because police almost always look into the person that discovered the crime scene as a possible suspect. I don't know if it's ever been proved that's actually the person who did it, but they're the person that saw them, discovered them, so they look into them, but I don't think he might have been seriously considered, but I don't know. That's a weird assumption to make. What's wrong?
I have this really weird taste in my mouth right now.
Is it enamel? Is it iron?
No, it's more like salty.
I
don't
see.
know what that is.
I don't either.
Anyway.
Weird.
Dolores Davis. Mm-hmm. His final victim came from Dolores Davis.
Came in the form of?
Yep. That's actually what I was trying to read.
I know.
You read better not even looking at it than I do looking at it.
Good, I'm glad.
His final victim came in the form of Dolores Davis, a 62-year-old single woman living only half a mile from his home.
Wow, he got closer and closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any more children at this point, or is it just his one
He has 3, I believe.
at this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rader was once again at Boy Scout camp and left in the middle of the night. He smashed in Davis's glass back door with a cement block and found Davis reading in her book. Like all his victims, Rader tied Davis up before strangling her. He even took his time to sketch out the last moments of her life and then proceeded to take her body to his car,
You can find that sketch online because I just found that.
which is kind of fun.
You can find the sketch as well as pictures of, I don't know if they were pictures of his victims, but you can find pictures that are presumed to be his victims. And then you can also find pictures that he took of himself, bound and hanging from a tree in one, and then bound in a tool shed or something. And in the grave, you can find a picture of him in that grave that he put Maureen?
Yeah.
Maureen in?
If you wanted to, we could probably put a few of those photos on Instagram.
I'm not going to put them anywhere.
Yeah.
They can find them on their own.
Not the victim photos, but the pictures of him
No,
being in there.
I don't
little
want.
cutie
I only
pie.
want people to look them up if they want to look them up. I'm not going to force them into seeing it.
You want to force them into seeing it, just don't open Instagram for the next 5 months. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
He and then proceeded to take her body to the car. He left Davis's body and evidence at a nearby lake forest.
And evidence. The hot dog squad finally catch him this time.
I'll explain.
Okay.
Getting warmer, a Wichita lawyer, Robert Beatty, wrote a book about the crimes and ongoing investigation, which caused a renewed interest in the BTK case in early 2003. On the 30th anniversary of the Otero family murder, the Wichita Eagle ran an article about the crime. Rader, upset that there was a renewed interest in his crime, sent an envelope to Wichita Eagle with the photos of Vicky Wegerly as she was dying. A second letter was sent to KATE TV, Cake, in 2004 with a word puzzle that was ultimately unsolvable. The next month, it was a package containing a collection of evidence from several different murders. Another package was found by a UPS worker, a manila envelope containing a collage of pictures of children with bindings drawn across their bodies and faces. The killer also included an autobiography listing a number of details about his life, most of which turned out to be untrue.
So he just got too big for his boots, and that was his downfall.
What was his downfall was him turning himself in, and we'll get to it.
I didn't know he did that.
Well, he essentially turned himself in.
Okay.
So, Rader continued to speak with police and the public through nonsensical packages and letters, many of which spouted lies about himself and his whereabouts. Eventually, Rader made a mistake.
Why do you say that in quotes? Did he mean to make it?
We will. We'll get into it, and then I'll give my take on it.
Okay, cool.
Drop number 11 arrived at KSAS TV on February 16th. It contained a letter.
What year is this?
This was in 2005.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, it's recent. I also forgot to mention whenever we were talking about all the things that he was all these drops that he was just sending in. He went under the name, and you were.
Am I gonna laugh?
No, you're gonna cry. And also, I was talking about puns earlier.
Is this one?
Yes, I have 2 puns for you.
I love them.
Whenever he killed Dolores Davis, she was kind of a small little woman.
Okay.
And after he killed her, he had a bowl of cereal he ate. Do you know why he ate cereal, Mason?
No.
Because he was a serial killer.
Ah.
That's not funny. Don't laugh at that joke. Dennis Rader made that joke, not me. He made that joke.
I'm sorry.
He also made another joke whenever he was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm starting to get an awful lot of attention." Dennis Rader also went under the name Billy Thomas Killman whenever he was sending in those. And in case you don't get that, listeners, Billy B, Thomas T, Killman K, BTK.
That's good.
No, it's not.
Okay,
It
not
is
good. That's not good.
the opposite of
Opposite
good.
of good. Yes, bad.
Mucho bad.
Mucho gusto.
Eos mio.
Dios mío. The mine.
They mine.
Holy moly.
Anyway,
It's late.
yeah. So
Past my bedtime.
drop number 11, which arrived to, like I said earlier,
Case ass.
Case Ass TV on February 16th. It contained a letter and a piece of jewelry.
2005, right?
Yeah.
Yai. 2005.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
So the drop contained a letter, a piece of jewelry, and a floppy disk. Now it's important to
In
note-
2005?
Yeah. It's important to note that before he sent this in, he asked the police department, he's like, "Hey, would you be able to trace this back to me if I sent it on a floppy disk?" And he pretty much turned it in. Like, he turned himself in. Because, like, the hot dog squad was like, "Oh, no. No. We couldn't trace that. No. You should definitely send it on that." So then we couldn't trace. They were lying to me.
The one good thing they actually did, aside from naming themselves the Hot Dog Squad.
Yeah. So on the disk, detectives found software, a Word document, from Christ Lutheran Church, which was his church, and the name Dennis. A quick search on the internet showed Dennis Rader as the president of the church council.
What an idiot.
Yeah, but also look at that. He was the president of the church council, and he was the one
What
doing
an
this.
ordinary guy.
Yeah.
So why did he put that document on there? Was it an accident?
No, he was being lazy, and he also wanted to turn himself in.
He wanted to turn himself in.
Yes, without saying that he wanted to turn himself in. Like, he was kind of an attention whore.
Yes.
No, what's a better way I can say that? He was kind of an attention seeker.
No, attention whore is fine.
Okay, but I don't want to say that.
Okay, then don't.
You say it.
No, I'm not going to.
Okay, so he was an attention seeker.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. He just wanted people to know that he was the one that killed them. On February 25th, 2005, Rader returned to his home to find it surrounded by police. He surrendered willingly, and he gave a lengthy 30-hour confession.
Whoa, consecutive hours?
I don't know if it's consecutive, but it's a 30-hour.
30-hour confession. Goodness gracious. How could you stay in the same room with that guy for 30 hours and not want to murder his face
I'm
off?
sure that people wanted to murder his face off, but...
Goodness. Ios mio.
Yeah.
For sure on that one.
Dios mio. At first, no one could believe Rader to be guilty of the charges. Rader's family, church community, and neighbors were all in complete shock when the charges were given.
Of course.
Not one of them believed that Dennis Rader could possibly be a serial killer. However, they quickly changed their stances. Rader's wife divorced him quickly and quietly. And they also had the house demolished when they found out.
Mm-hmm.
So, on June 27th, 2005, Rader pled guilty to 10 counts of first-degree murder. August 17th, Rader was sentenced to 125 years in prison. He would be available for parole when he turns 135.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I looked at, he's like 73 now, so he's got just, 50, 60 years to go?
Yeah.
He's got 60 years to go before he can be paroled.
If he actually lives to be that old and he gets out, I'm going to strangle him myself.
Wouldn't that
And I will get
be,
rock
that would be
solid while I'm doing
headlines. That would be the biggest headline in the world.
If he got out,
If
like,
he was
you know,
135 and got out, it's never gonna happen.
I hope not.
No, I'm gonna.
But O.J.
guarantee-
Simpson, look at what happened to O.J.
Yeah,
Simpson.
but O.J. Simpson's not 135 years old,
Well, that's true. That is true.
and the glove didn't fit, Tyler.
Shut up.
The glove didn't
Shut
fit.
up. Get out of here. So, yeah, that is the story of BTK. That's all I've got. What's next on our agenda to take over the world?
I don't know. Didn't we have something that we were going to say earlier?
Oh yeah. So we've been thinking quite a bit, and part of the reason why we did such a big episode today
Oh, I remember. Ah, okay.
is the fact that we want to. Do you want to say it at the same time?
No, you go ahead,
Okay.
even though I did all the work.
We want to move outside of just Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri.
We're going to start exclusively covering Norway now.
Yeah, that's it.
And only Norway, yeah, that's it.
I plan to do.
Get ready for a lot of Viking stories.
I actually plan to do Norwegian black metal first.
Oh, good.
So that'll be pretty
Whoops.
fun.
Just kidding. Sorry, Norway.
But if we get listeners, if the first listener that we get, we will actually do an episode on Norway.
Oh, yeah, if there's a story from your state and or country you want us to do, we'll do it. But we're actually now expanding to the whole Midwest.
Woo!
All however many states are in the Midwest.
So you know what that means.
Lots of Midwest.
Eventually, Edward Gein and Jeffrey Dahmer will be covered.
Oh, yes. Yes, I forgot about those guys.
So excited.
And then if anyone can find a crime in North Dakota, I would love to cover that. Because North Dakota seems like the nicest state in the United States.
I don't know about that.
What is then, in your humble opinion?
In my honorable opinion,
Humble.
I would probably say, like, I don't know. I don't really hear about a whole lot of bad things coming from Maryland or Rhode Island.
Jersey Shore came from Rhode Island.
No, Jersey Shore came from New Jersey.
No, it came from Rhode Island.
We should move on. So,
they're just not great places to be. Maryland's okay. Rhode Island's a little iffy. I feel
why?
like
What do you have against Rhode Islanders?
It's a small state with more population than Wyoming.
Okay, yeah, but Wyoming is kind of desolate.
Yeah, so people can still live there. It's livable.
So, I mean, there are in Wyoming.
I just don't trust Rhode Island as
Wyoming
a state.
is also pretty big.
I don't trust. Yeah.
So-
how does that justify having less people than the tiniest state country on the planet?
Okay, I'm pretty sure that. Montana is also pretty big, pretty sizable.
It's large.
And you can fit that over how much of the East Coast, and how
Almost
much?
all of it.
Yeah, and how much of Wyoming could you fit over all of the East Coast? Like,
Again, almost all of it.
yeah. So that's no reason to not trust, or do you just not trust East Coasters? The East Coast.
No, I don't.
Are you racist against the East Coast?
Wow, that's a broad assumption. I decline to answer that without my lawyer present.
Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Detroit.
Wow.
Those are
yeah,
all
we can cover Detroit now too.
Those are all states that. Oh, I feel like there's going to be a lot from Detroit.
Oh man, are you ready? There's going to be a lot of stuff. Because what states are technically in the Midwest?
Well, I would say that Milwaukee,
That's not a state.
Wisconsin.
Milwaukee's not a state.
Oh, it is now.
No, it's not.
Milwaukee, Des Moines, Wisconsin.
No, only one of those were states.
Jeffrey Dahmer was from Jefferson City, Missouri, and
Really?
no,
I didn't think so.
he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie My Friend Dahmer?
I have seen part of it.
Good.
I need to finish it. Okay, yeah, but anyway, I'd consider Wisconsin, Minneapolis, not
Oh my god.
Minnesota.
Michigan,
Yep.
the Dakotas,
Yeah. And
Illinois. I
Illinois.
could do Bachelor's Grove now. I call Bachelor's Grove.
Okay. I don't want to call Edward Gein and Jeffrey Dahmer because I feel like that's too much to call. Because like those are
No.
very cool people that I want you to be part of.
I called Anna Ecklund and Roland Doe, so you do you.
I've never heard of either of those.
I just talked about Anna Ecklund.
Oh well, I mean
I
like
just talked about Anna
I meant
Ecklund.
I only paid attention to the last person.
Roland Doe.
Yeah.
He's the one that also inspired The Exorcist. He's another possession that I'm going to talk about in a few weeks.
Nice.
I think I know what I'm going to talk about next week.
What's that?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Anyway,
Live
so we're gonna move
tips
away
and
from that really quick, unless you just want to keep
Alton,
listing off.
Pullman,
Okay, so this is just me now
Orville,
talking.
Majors.
You can find us on Facebook
was
at
a
the Right Wrong
doctor.
Turn.
This guy was a doctor.
You can
who killed
also
his patients.
find us on Instagram, Mason at the
Leslie
Mason,
Irvin?
No, at the real Mason, at the Mason
Leslie?
himself. And then
The
you can find
I-70
me.
killer shot and
at-
killed people from Indiana to Texas.
you-
Okay,
you
that
can
one's neat.
You can find
Indiana,
me
Kansas,
at
Missouri.
BT Bears.
Okay, let's start these
you
plugs
can
over again.
Also
Let's start them over again.
find me on Snapchat at.
Tyler, what plugs do we have for people to follow us on?
Well, you can find us on Instagram
can.
individually
Can.
until we get a freaking Instagram account, which, sorry about that, I've been quite lazy about.
I know you have been. You've been quite lazy about everything.
You know, I was really good. I was taking responsibility for
Yeah,
that.
and
but
I'm glad.
now- But now, Mason's been really lazy about that lately.
Mason has not. Mason's
And-
never lazy about anything.
And
Do not listen to him.
He's
I pay
been
for him
really
to be
just-
alive.
He's just been really slow for about getting
That's what
stuff
she said.
done, you know?
That's what she said.
So
You could find Tyler on Instagram at the T Bears, and me, Mason Arnold, at the Mason himself. We have a Facebook page, The Right Wrong Turn. We have an email, rightwrongturnpodcast@gmail.com.
please email Mason. He is so lonely and so sad.
I'm not either of those.
Each morning when I wake up to his face, he turns around, looks at his phone, and he goes to the Google account or that Gmail account, and he sees that there's no mail, and he just whispers to himself, "Another day."
Another day.
And no day has it ever came. And he's trying, folks.
That's what she said.
He's trying. to
That's
just-
also what she said. You can also listen to us on iTunes, where you
Which
can-
is pretty new. What's our update on Spotify?
nothing under review. Nothing. It makes me sad every day. That's what makes me say another day. That right there is what makes me sad.
How long have we been waiting now?
Weeks.
Well, yes, but it's been a month now,
A
hasn't it?
number of weeks. A certain number of a certain combination of numbers of weeks and days
Wow, thanks.
and hours and minutes and seconds. It just
Thank
keeps
you.
building.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, since that's been said,
Please rate us on iTunes. If you rate us on iTunes, then we can reach more people's ears. And that is what we want to do.
and then we can get better, and we can become national known superstars, and then we can start live shows.
You lost me there, buckaroo.
But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are saying that they want to be on the show, which
Really?
yeah.
I haven't had anyone say that to me.
Well, they keep asking me, Tyler. They keep asking me, Tyler, you're that guy from the podcast, right? Can you get me on the show?
Are you that guy from that podcast? Oh, no, I'm thinking about Mason. That's what they say to you, isn't it? And then you
No.
go home and cry.
No, because I'm the only one that gives them love and attention.
So they say you're that guy from that podcast and they ask if you want to be on it. That doesn't sound like a real super fan to me.
Well, you don't know what it's like to be a real super fan.
I do.
You're not a fan of anything.
I am.
No.
Yes.
I'm a fan of the darkness.
Cool.
I'm edgy.
Is that all we had
I let the darkness surround
for the
me.
people?
I wear black fingernail polish. And
If you have
dark
any
lipstick to show how
suggestions
cool I
for
am.
us,
And
then
sometimes
you can email them to us, or
I
you
see
can
a dog and I
message
don't call it a
Tyler and
good
I on
pupper.
Facebook or on
other
Instagram
times I
with
just
the
eat no
suggestions
vegetables,
that you
'cause
have for
that's what
us.
edgy kids do.
And
And I'm also highly emotional and very sensitive. And I dye my hair black to
let's go.
express my
Let's finish this up.
edgelordness.
I'm
like,
starving. Let's go. Okay. If you have any suggestions for stories, you can either email us, Facebook message us,
We've already
Instagram
said,
message us.
okay. You can slide into our DMs.
You can, if you really want to. Tyler's in need of a lover. I have one, but Tyler's in need of one. So if you want to be Tyler's lover, the only requirement is you have to be male.
And you also need to have a pulse.
That's true. You have to be a living, breathing man person. And
Don't be a creep.
be a creep.
Thanks.
He wants creeps. That's what he's into.
I want you to be crazy.
That's what, yeah, exactly. The suggestions can come from anywhere. If we get a suggestion from Uganda, we'll do it from Uganda. We'll do a story from Uganda for sure.
I would take a story from a dumpster
Yes.
because I'm needing one.
You need a dumpster story?
Yes.
Okay, well, with that being said,
I don't have anything left.
I don't either.
I have nothing left. I've given you all of me. Okay? If you find yourself walking down a road and you see a turn, take it. It might just be the right, wrong. Wait a second. I almost forgot.
Oh, man, what'd you forget?
Jimothy, cue the music.
Oh, God.
If you find yourself walking down a lonely road and you see a turn, take it. It might just be the right, wrong turn.
Oh, shit.